Dating in 2026 doesn't start with a spark anymore. It starts with a profile, a photo, a caption, a swipe, and in a few seconds, someone decides whether you're worth knowing or worth skipping. That alone should tell us something. We live in a time where connection is instant, but commitment feels distant. Where people say that they want love, but act terrified of it when it shows up. If you felt confused, exhausted, or emotionally drained by modern dating, you're not alone. Dating in 2026 isn't just about romance anymore. It's about psychology. It's about self-worth. It's about navigating people who don't always know what they want, but still want access to you. And today, we're going to talk honestly about what dating looks like now, without sugarcoating it. How we got here. Dating used to be slower. You met people through life, through routine, through shared environments. Now, dating happens in isolation, on a screen. You can be surrounded by millions of people and still feel invisible. Technology didn't destroy dating, but it changed how people value one another. When love became searchable, people became replaceable. When attraction became endless, commitment became optional. We weren't emotionally designed for infinite choice. We were designed for depth. The depth requires patience, something modern dating doesn't reward. The paradox of choice. In 2026, people don't struggle to find someone. They struggle to choose one. More options don't make people happier. They make people hesitant. Why invest deeply when something new is always available? Why work through discomfort when you can always restart with someone else? So people date with one foot in and one foot out. They enjoy the attraction. They enjoy the closeness, but they resist responsibility. Not because they're cruel, but because commitment now feels risky. Emotional availability is rare. One of the defining traits of dating in 2026 is emotional unavailability. People are guarded, not because they don't care, but because they've been disappointed too many times. So they keep things casual, undefined, non-committal. They avoid labels, clarity, and conversations that require honesty. But here's the truth. You can't build something meaningful with someone who refuses to show up emotionally. Attraction without availability leads to confusion. And confusion is one of the most common emotional states in modern dating. Why ghosting became acceptable. Ghosting didn't become common because people stopped caring. It became common because people stopped communicating. In a world where everyone is replaceable, disappearing feels easier than explaining. Ghosting avoids discomfort, avoids accountability, avoids emotional responsibility. And if you've been ghosted before, understand this. It says more about their emotional maturity than your value. Someone who disappears instead of communicating was never prepared to handle a real relationship anyway. Dating while lonely. Loneliness plays a huge role in dating today. People aren't always looking for love. They're looking for relief. Relief from silence, from isolation, from feeling unseen. And when loneliness leads the way, standards quietly lower. You start accepting mixed signals, inconsistent effort, emotional distance, not because it's enough, but because it's something. But loneliness doesn't make good decisions. It makes urgent ones. And urgency often leads to attachment, not love. Situationships, the relationship of 2026. Situationships exist because they offer comfort without commitment. Just enough closeness to feel connected. Just enough distance to avoid responsibility. They're built on potential, not reality. You wait for clarity. You hope for change. You tell yourself, maybe eventually. But eventually isn't a promise. And potential isn't a plan. Situationships don't usually end dramatically. They fade slowly, leaving confusion in their place. Redefining standards. In 2026, having standards is often misunderstood. Standards aren't demands. They're boundaries. They're not about perfection. They're about consistency. Healthy standards sound like, I need clear communication. I need emotional availability. I need effort to match interest. If someone makes you feel like your standards are too much, they were never planning to meet them. The right person won't see your standards as pressure. They'll see them as clarity. What healthy dating looks like now. Healthy dating in 2026 is calm. It doesn't leave you guessing. It doesn't feel like emotional survival. It feels steady, respectful, mutual. There's no chase, no confusion, no emotional whiplash. Just two people choosing each other consistently. And yes, it exists. It's just quieter than chaos. Final thoughts on dating in 2026. Dating in 2026 requires self-awareness. It requires patience, discernment, and emotional courage. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone is capable of loving you well. And that's okay. The goal isn't to date more. It's to date better. Protect your heart, but don't close it. Love still exists, but now it asks for wisdom too.